Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Welcome to our Christmas craft along. Fingers crossed. I'm actually in the studio today, the main studio. It feels a little bit echoey. I'm used to a smaller room. I've not been up here for quite a few weeks, if not months. So let me know if the sound's okay. Let me know if the picture's okay. We are going to be crafting along with my Papercraft Society box. Now, we usually do a craft along with this every month anyway. The designer will tend to do a craft along with their box around about the middle of each month once the subscribers have received it. But we thought we'd tie this in with our Christmas craft alongs anyway. So you're getting two for the price of one this week. So what I'm going to do is, it's very interactive. I've got a squeaky chair, by the way. It's not me, it's the chair. It's actually my bones as well, a little bit. But this is going to be a very interactive hour. So I have planned some projects, but already I'm changing my mind because I've been reading through the comments and so many of you have said you've not done much quilling and you'd love to see the quilling. Now, I was going to just omit the quilling completely, thinking it's in the box. We've got loads and loads in the project booklet as well. So you don't need to see the quilling, but you know what, actually I might show you a really, really simple quilling project that you can do for your Christmas crafting to get you started. If you've never quilled before, it's perfect. And if the children want to be quilling along with you, having a go, you can be doing that whilst you're doing other things. So shall I run through the Papercraft Society box very, very quickly? In fact, I'm going to say hello to a few people because it's one thing that I very often forget to do until it's too late. So first of all, over on Facebook, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Hello to Deborah Plowman, good afternoon. Catherine says, hello, can't wait to watch the quilling techniques. Yeah, so that's actually, I think, Catherine, are you on YouTube as well, Catherine, or just on here? Because I think it was your comment that made me think I probably do need to do some quilling this afternoon, so it'll be a little bit off the cuff today, but it's fine, it's relaxed, it's crafting, we're going to have a lovely time. Have you got your biscuits ready? That's the most important thing. So hello to Karen Williams, hello to Cheryl Thomas. She said she only managed to play with the new box this morning, but she definitely has a new love. Quilling is the best. You know, I think I'm going to have to do some quilling, aren't I? You're sounding a bit far away today, as in the echo, a little bit of an echo today. I think there might be. We've got, in this studio, we've got a big microphone. This is behind the scenes stuff here. We've got a big microphone up here rather than having the little one on my lapel. But if it's too quiet, I can shout. But when I was doing videos earlier, it was a little bit too loud. So let me know. Let me know whether you need me to speak louder or whether you need me to, I can actually turn it up a little bit for you. I don't want to deafen everybody else today. Hello to Carol Lewis as well. Andrea Withington, hi to you. Rainey Atkins, hello to Lou and everybody. Marie, hello to you as well. Marie, I think I've just sent a prize out to you recently. In fact, I think you were very lucky. You won 2 prizes, which is amazing. If it's the same Marie, I hope it is. Roxy Lee, hi to you too. CraftStash is there commenting. If you have any comments, questions that I miss, CraftStash will hopefully pick them up. I don't know if it's Hillary or Sky today, but hello to either of you. I've been in the office and I've not seen either of you today. So yeah, turn it up. Okay, I can turn it up. Just bear with me a second. I shall turn the volume up for you, everyone. Let me see. I'm looking there. Okay, so is that a little bit louder for everybody? I hope it is. That's about as loud as I can go. Okay. Right, the video keeps freezing. Well, hopefully I'm watching it here and it looks okay to me. So hopefully it's your connection and it will just ease in a moment. I'm just going to check YouTube as well while I'm here. Oh, Anita says she still has her quilling board that she bought 15 years ago. This is a traditional craft. It really is an older craft. Karen Gardner on YouTube is looking forward to seeing quilling. She's never seen it done before. We've got lots of comments here as well. Catherine, you are on both YouTube and Facebook. I've found you now. Okay, so shall we have a look at what's in the box? Come on down to my desk. Let me move my phone. I don't want to see notifications popping on there, do you? So we have got the box here. I love these boxes. I just love the design of the front of them. I think they're beautiful. They're really nice. If you want to just pop a tag or something over the top, you could use these with your Christmas gifting if you wanted to. On the inside, we have all our quotes and such. Crafting makes cold winter days feel much warmer. That is so true, isn't it? It really is true. And then we've got our, so the booklet I've already got out for you. I'm just seeing if I can turn that volume up just a little bit more for you, just to make it a bit louder. We'll see how it goes. So within the booklet, if you've not received a Papercraft Society box before, you're in for a treat. So In a little while, this will be available to purchase individually, but if you subscribe today to receive a Papercraft Society box once a month, delivered direct to your door with free postage, you will get, I believe the first one you will get is the Lindsay Weirick one, which is the Frugal Crafter, very much a watercolour themed box. Go and check out on YouTube and on Facebook, we've got the reveal, the box reveal, where we show you everything that's inside the box. Okay, you've only actually got about another week to subscribe to that, by the way. I think it's the 20th is the last day for subscriptions. I think I'm going to be using my tissue paper, by the way, everybody, today. How often do you use your tissue paper from your boxes in your projects? Most of us probably just keep them all there together. So, very, very different this month. So we've got our papers. I'm going to be using lots of those. We've got some stencils as well, so we've got a fine sort of snow there. We've got a beautiful swirl and some snowflakes. I'm not going to do a full look through these because you should all hopefully either have it or have seen it. And I'm hoping that you can craft along with things you've got at home as well. Then we've got some stamps. Now what I love about this is we've got the 4 sentiment stamps. They're all stamped together, and then you have the one die. So it's, let me take it off of the packaging. This die cuts all of those sentiment stamps out at the same time. So you're doing 4 strips at once, and you line them up perfectly by lining up those hexagons. Can you see those hexagons? They look like dots, but hexagons on the corners. We've got those in the die, so you can line them up really easily. Cut these sentiment strips out all at once. You can just batch cut those and use them on your projects. And then as an additional, there is a download. Let me just check this because I need to check where the download is. I need to remind myself. There's a download. I think it's on Craftworld. There is a download somewhere that has got some different phrases in different languages for you to print out and cut out with the same die. I'm not sure where that's going to be. It's somewhere on Craftworld. If you're not already on Craftworld, do pop along and take a look at that. I think it will be where my cards were because I used one on a card. Can you see? There we go. So this is some of the projects that you get in the booklet. Just here I used a French sentiment, and you can download those. So we've got the English ones, some more words in English for you. We've got French and Spanish sentiments as well. So print them off at home, and then they will die cut using this. So batch making your sentiments. Okay, so let's tuck that away. Inside the box, we've also got cardstock I'm going to be using. Chipboard, I think I might be using that if we get the time. We've got the circles and the snowflakes, and then we've got the negative that the snowflakes come out of as well, so there's all of that. And we've got the quilling elements too, and then we've got our gesso, our texture paste, and we've got our glitter. And look at these. If you need templates as well, you've got them inside your box. So let me just put a few things away and let's get crafting. I wish I could see your comments a bit closer up. I'm going to start with, should we start nice and simple? Ooh, let's start with just some plain cardstock. So this is my off-the-cuff project that I'm going to make with you. Let's use grey, and it's just to show you some quilling to start with, because I think for those of you who haven't done quilling before, this is such an easy project for you to get started with. I'm not worrying about putting that away too much because we will come back to that. Let's sit that there. So I'm going to cut myself a tag shape. Now you can use your dies if you want to. I need to talk about dies actually because I've got some dies in front of me that I grabbed earlier. These are all on offer, by the way, everybody. But as you can see, there are tags in here. There's a heart one there included, but these are actually gift boxes from Simply Made Crafts. And I know this is nothing as such to do with the box, but when I was looking at these in the office, I said, oh, why are they out? They said they're on offer today. So they're up to 25% off of these. If you get the emails, you'll find that offer in your emails to click directly through to the page where these are. If not, just search them, Simply Made Crafts, gift boxes and bags. These are going to be perfect for your Christmas gifting, but also there's tags in there as well. So I think that just ties in really nicely. So I'm just going to cut myself a rough tag shape. Now the way I do that is just by cutting a rectangle of cardstock. This could be a patterned cardstock if you'd rather, or it can be a plain. Do you know what, sometimes I just think plain is enough. I'm going to snip the corners like so. Now again, if you've got a tag die, this is going to make this so much easier for you. Just to show you how I get, if I'm cutting myself a tag, how I get the corners to be exactly the same. Once you cut one, just place the offcut into the corner and use that as a template for the other side. And then you've got the exact same angle. You'll just need to flip it over. There we go. And then we've got a tag that's fairly even for a hand cut tag. I'm not sure what I've got on me today. Oh, I do have a little hole punch somewhere. Perfect. So I've got a little hole punch. Talking of punches, we have got coming up very soon, we've got some amazing tools, and there's a punch in there that you're going to absolutely love. Anyway, I digress. We don't need to talk about that now. Let me just grab my phone for the comments and see. Hello, Mrs. Stationery and Stuff. I apologise, I forget your first name. Pascal, hello from Belgium. Tatty's so happy to have found us on YouTube. That's from Karen. Oh, Karen Gardner, a different Karen, has been getting out the Papercraft Society boxes since the very beginning. I absolutely love that. I think that's fantastic. Now, I'm going to stamp my sentiment before I get quilling, just so I know what space I've got for my quilling. And if you're not wanting to batch stamp or batch make as such, you can still use these individually. So I'm going to bring in, this is a sneak peek because they're not quite available yet. This is coming very soon. You're going to love it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be getting projects and videos done with these. So what am I doing? I'm putting that completely the wrong way. So I'm going to have my tag in my stamping platform, and I'm going to want to stamp Make a Wish down on the bottom there. So I'm going to lift this up. Now I can try with my ink pad, just try to catch just the words Make a Wish there, and that's going to be really difficult. So I'm going to mask. If you've not seen this before, masking off stamps just gives you the ability to then ink up your stamp only the area that you want to ink up. So use a low tack or a repositionable tape. There's a little hexagon there, not that that matters, it wouldn't be on my card. So I've just masked off the area around my word there that I want to stamp. This is a brand new stamp set because my Papercraft Society box is at home. But I'm just going to prep my stamp. Now, prepping my stamps, I always do that by using an eraser. This is just a pencil eraser. And I just rub that lightly over the top of the, sorry, my squeaky chair is particularly squeaky today. I'm trying to sit still, but it's impossible. I just rub the eraser over the top of the stamp there, takes that coating off from the manufacturing process. And then I'm going to use my ink pad here. Can you see how much ink I would have got on the rest of my stamp? Then remove my tape. There we go. And then, whoops, just trying to drop that in the bin without getting black all over me, but it's sticking to me. And then I can fold that over. I love this. I can see where it's going to go before I press it down. Okay. Make a wish. There we go. So there's my little Make-A-Wish. So this is just going to be a really pretty little tag. Pop that back on there for now. I'll pop this out of the way because that's teasing you until we have them available. So now quilling. When I was asked to do a Papercraft Society box, they said, you know, are there any crafts that you've seen around and are brand new or anything? I said, no craft is brand new. Every craft really has been done before in one way or another, and that's the same in a lot of different industries. And it's so true. So I had to think about what traditional crafts were out there that maybe I just haven't seen for a little while, and quilling sprung to mind instantly. Look at this. Okay, so I'm just going to take my green strips. You get so many colours in there, and usually when you buy quilling strips you do get different widths of them. So these are, do you know what, I really should measure these. I don't know the exact width. So where's my ruler? Oh, I've got all my craft things with me here. So millimeters, let's see, these are, they look like they are 3 or 4 millimeter. I'd say they're probably 3. They're just over, but they're 3 millimeter in width, these ones. You can get quilling strips up to almost about a centimetre, so 10 millimetres if you want to. So it's entirely up to you what you like to work with. Obviously, to be able to get as much in the box and as many colours as possible, we went for the 3 millimetre, which is one of the thinner ones, but then you get all the different colours. So we go from black to brown to navy to burgundy to a baby blue, a mint green, a lovely bright blue, a lime green. Oh, we have the 2 other greens, the grass green and the holly green as well. Then we have a yellow, an ivory, a slightly deeper yellow as well. I'm not sure what you'd call it, almost an orange, and then an orange, then should we call it a terracotta colour, then a deep red, a really bright pink, and then a more of a dusky pink or a fuchsia pink, a peachy colour, a baby pink, purple, lilac, yeah, I will go lilac, pale purple and white, okay? So all of those different colours included. So I've just pulled out the strips that I want to use, and don't forget, you don't have to use a whole strip, you can just use part of one. I very often will just tear them the length that I need. So I'm just going to tear this one, so it's around about, I'll just measure it on my mat, so 4 inches. So what's 4 inches in centimetres? Why don't I have a centimetre thing here? Somebody will comment, I'm sure. Oh, so Trish has said she's new to quilling, but she loves the box. She's just started making one of the projects and she loves it. Thank you. I'm so pleased. So pleased. You do have everything in the box that you could possibly need for your quilling. Now, the template is actually optional. A lot of people will use this if they need perfect size pieces for quilling, but I don't always use it because I like to, you know what I'm like, if you've ever seen me crafting before, I don't tend to measure. So this is completely optional. Oh look, and we've got a centimetre rule on here as well. Just over 10 centimetres. God, I wish I'd have said 10, I'd have looked really clever then. I thought it. Okay, so the first piece of quilling, we're going to make a Christmas tree, and it's going to be a really easy Christmas tree. So if you take your quilling tool, that's the purple hand, I assume you've all got purple ones. It's the tool that has the metal rod on the end, and if you look closely, there is a slot in there. Just feed the end of your quilling strip through the slit in the end there of the metal, and I tend to just allow it a millimetre or so out the other end and twist. Okay, and just twist, and as soon as that's twisted round and onto itself, that's held itself in place, and you can keep twisting. Now what I tend to like to do is just pop my finger over the end of the metal, support the bottom of the strip with my thumb, and just twist round like so. Okay, and just keep twisting, and when you get to the end, I place my finger and thumb over the coil, and I just keep twisting for a moment just to make sure that has twisted as much. Now what some people like to do is then come along to their guide and pop that into their guide and allow it to open up to the size of the circle that they want. So I've just popped it in, I believe that's 8 millimetres there. And you can leave that there, and you can pop a little bit of glue on the end, leave that to dry, and it will be the perfect sized circle for you. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to quill it and open it up. And I'm actually going to then take the end and loosen the end off. Okay, so we're going to make Christmas trees. So let's get some glue. Now, a lot of people ask me, what glue would you use? So I would use definitely a wet glue, not a hot glue. I find hot glue dries far too quickly. So I'm actually going to use a clear gloss. Now it can be your glossy accents, so that's a very common one. I love this one, the Anita's clear gloss, and it can just be your usual white glue, and it dries clear. It's entirely up to you. I just find with this, it grasps, it's stickier, and it grasps even quicker. So I'm going to place this one, so a little blob, a circle. I checked this before we started and it wasn't clogged up. It was fine. So don't start now, there we go. So a little circle, that's a lot more than I wanted. It's just all come out. And a line where I want the quilling to be. And I'm going to place it with the end of the quilling strip pointed upwards towards the middle there. So this is going to be the top of our Christmas tree. So I'm now going to do the same with another one, very roughly about 4 inches or 10 centimeters. I've just torn the strip, pop the end in. If you want it really neat, make sure you pop the torn end into the end of the quilling tool and wrap that round. And you can actually, as long as your dexterity is okay, you can quill these really, really quickly and then just release the end. And what I love about this project is all of your circles can be different shapes and sizes. Okay, actually looks better if they're different rather than all the same. I'm going to pop another one so the two ends come together at the top there. Okay, like so. Hopefully some of you are following along with your quilling, and I'm going to keep doing this with what I'm going to do now is stop measuring. I'm going to go either 10 centimeters or a bit more, and I'm just going to randomly coil, glue down the coil, and make sure the ends come up into the center to create my tree. So there's another one. Should we put one here? There we go. Stand that up. Hopefully you'll soon start to see what will look like, fingers crossed, what will look like a Christmas tree starting to appear. Let me just check the comments, because the comments seem to disappear as soon as I don't go on my phone for about 10 seconds. So let's have a look. Can you use any paper for quilling, or is it special quilling paper? Yes, you can. You can cut other paper. I would suggest thinner paper rather than thick cardstock. You can cut to size paper, but obviously quilling strips are ideal. They're easy to use, much easier than cutting your own. But if you don't have any, yes, by all means, go ahead, cut your own strips, have a go, and then if you enjoy it and you want to do some more, then you can go and maybe purchase some actual quilling strips. I've just put that glue where I didn't want it. I wanted to do that up here. So I'm just making sure all of my circles sort of spray out from the center of the tree. In a moment it will start, I promise it will start to look like a Christmas tree in a moment, and it will get bigger and bigger and bigger as we work towards the base of it. Like I say, this is something that children can do because it's a really simple shape and a really simple quilling piece to do as well. So there's lots of examples in the project booklet of things you can be doing as well, and we've also got a really handy guide for you for if you've never quilled before, how to create some of those basic shapes. So just popping that one there. I like to sometimes get my tweezers and just manipulate a little bit where the end goes until that glue grasps it on. Okay, can you start to see that Christmas tree look coming? Hopefully you can. Going from the middle, and another one. So yeah, there's lots of different shapes you can make. I might make a few of those in a little while. I mean, for example, if you want to be making flowers, butterflies, they can all be made using quilling strips. You just break them down into little pieces. I just need to get a wet wipe because I've just managed to put this glue all over my fingers. So I'm going to pop that, just pop that little coil there. And if you've got glue on your fingers and you're handling your quilling strips, you're going to end up with glue lifting up the coiled strips that you're trying to place down, because of course your hands are sticky. Yeah, so actually Carol Lewis did answer that comment for me. Yes, and a paper shredder. Oh, why can't I say that word? A paper shredder. That's a really good idea, to use a paper shredder to cut yourself some strips. But as I think it was Karen may have said, yeah, Karen Williams said, as long as it's one of those ones that cuts strips and not one that cuts it into tiny little pieces. Yeah, by all means. I mean, imagine if you cut up, I don't know, magazines, for example. Shredded, I can't say shredded, help. Shredded magazines, and then went and quilled those. Have a go, try everything, try all the different papers you've got in your stash. This kit is just going to get you started and hopefully give you the bug as such, so to speak. What I like to do if I want my coil to open up a bit more is I kind of just shake it between my hands and it usually ends up loosening it up a little bit. You can open it more with your hands anyway. And this one, I think I'm going to put this one here, so I need them to start coming out a bit more, getting bigger as we get towards the base. There we go. And this only takes a few seconds of waiting for the glue to catch on to each piece. Is it starting? Is it starting to look like a tree yet? It might be a little bit early still, perhaps. But you can also, if you want to, if you're finding you've got a gap and you can't quite see where the tail or the end is going to go, you can just put a circle down if you prefer. So just here, I'm just going to put a green circle. Open that up. Now usually I'd glue the end of the quilling, but I don't need to with this one, with these, because the end's coming off and up. So it's an option for you if you want to. It's nice and relaxing, isn't it? I actually regret that I ate my chocolate bar before I started this live, because this would be perfect to sit with a chocolate bar and just create your Christmas tags. This could be the front of a Christmas card as well. It doesn't have to be your tags, of course. So just popping some glue in there. There we go. I need a dark one. So as you can see, I'm alternating. I'm sort of spreading the darker green out here and there. This is going to be a really little one, just because I don't need a big coil. There we go, just a little one to sit in here. There we go. Oh, I don't know if anyone heard my tummy there. I'm always hungry, always hungry. There we go. So just use my tweezers. I'm just going to pull that one in to make sure that's right shape. So that's starting to look like a tree. Now obviously if you have gems and such, not sure if I've got one the right sort of colour, you can pop one on there. I might just have to draw a star on, but actually, do you know what, a black drawn star to go with your black typed sentiment there, well, it looks typed, you know, the black sentiment, that would look really pretty, wouldn't it? Really quite contemporary. Isn't it funny how quilling can look more contemporary sometimes than traditional, depending on the style you use? So this is a very loose style. Karen says she's finding it very mindful and she thinks she's found a new hobby. It is so relaxing, Karen. It is such a lovely craft to do, and you don't need much either. So you can actually go into, I don't know, to your friends' houses for Christmas. You could take it to the caravan if that's what you do. If you're wanting to go sit in the garden or in the shed or whatever you do at home, wherever you go, you can just take the box with you. Take a few elements from the box. It doesn't require a lot of space at all, and that's just for quilling in general, so you can take quilling anywhere. So I'm now getting to slightly larger coils here. I think I need to remind myself that I'm doing larger coils, because it's quite easy if you're, especially like me, if you're chatting away, to just keep doing the same sort of size without really thinking about them. There we go. Let's go back. I'm going to be using more of the, I did cut another one of these here, I knew I did. I'm going to be using more of the light green than the dark green, but I really like the mix of greens as well. And see how quickly this already has come together. Now if you start have a look online, I know we've got some quilling templates for you. In fact, I have it on fairly good knowledge that there will be a magazine coming out very soon with some quilling tools in there and some templates, so keep an eye out for that, because that's really going to help extend this for you, give you some more quilling strips and some templates. In fact, I believe there's some templates that are already cut onto postcards, or put onto postcards. I'm probably saying far too much, and I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble now for revealing that, but that'll be a fantastic magazine. Keep an eye out in the shops for it. I can't say any more than that. I apologise. I'm not sure I don't think it's out yet. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it won't be too much longer. Okay. Is it starting? I'm hoping it's starting to look a bit like a Christmas tree. I am going to do my star now, just so that for anyone who's joining us a little bit late, you can see what it is. So I'm doing very much a hand-drawn star. Stars are the hardest shape to draw, aren't they? 100% the hardest shape to draw. That'll do. That'll do. I think maybe 1 or 2 more layers, but we're getting much larger with our coils now, so they take up more space. And then we'll move on to the project that I was actually originally going to do, which will be fun, and that's actually a gift card holder using elements from the box, but they're not using the quilling. So I need a little bit of a poll actually, everybody. Did you want to see a few more quilled shapes before I do another project, before I pop this away? Do you want to see quilled shapes, or are you happy to experiment yourself? We do have a page in the booklet that shows lots of different shapes and how to achieve them. There we go. Who have we got? Oh, Carol's seen some freestanding little Christmas characters, all done with quilling. They're amazing. They are, honestly. Karen says yes, please. Pam, hello Pam from Spain. She's got a quilling set, but she's never used it. Do you strip the ribbons? Did you strip the ribbons colours? Mine are like those you have in the box, quite wide. So yeah, no, these are all thin, so they're lots and lots of thin ones, all just glued together at the end. So they are as they are. They're 3mm wide, that's all. And these are actually some of the thinner ones you can buy. If you've got thicker ones, it would be quite difficult to go in and start trying to make them thinner, so you're probably better off purchasing thinner ones if yours are a bit wide for you. But you know what, the wider ones are then actually easier for you to do borders and such. So if you've seen the letters that are made using quilling strips, they usually have almost like a wall of quilling around the letter, and then they fill it in with all the shapes. So if you've got the wider strips, you can build that kind of wall then with those. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does a little bit. Catherine, how do you get the quilled paper out of the plastic circles without disrupting the tight circle? So what you'd usually do, Catherine, is you would roll your coil. Okay. And then you can take it out. I'd pop it on there, leave it to sit for a moment, and you can wiggle it out. I didn't coil enough there, so let's put it in a smaller one. And all I would do is I'd usually pinch it, add a tiny bit of glue to the end, and then put it back in and allow it to just sit for a few minutes, and the paper kind of settles, so it wants to gradually uncoil itself naturally, but while it's sat there and you've got that little tiny bit of glue on the end, it can just sit and settle, and then once you take it out and that glue has kind of caught onto itself, then it will be a coil for you. Does that make sense? So pop that one there, because that was only a little one. I needed to do a bit of a bigger one really, didn't I? I'm going to fill this space in with some smaller coils, just to look like the Christmas tree is getting fuller at the bottom. Simple coils are really lovely to make as well. Honestly, guys, go online and have a look at all the different shapes, characters and such that you can be making with quilled shapes, from the circles and the diamonds and the squares and all of that you can create from quilling, because there are so many that you can make. It's unbelievable, but it's such a relaxing craft. It's so fun to do. I'm going to pop on over to Geraldine. There's stencils and papers in the box. Yes, there is. I will be using more of those in a moment. So if quilling's not your thing, we'll be going over to those a bit more. So I'm going to rattle that in my hand just to open it up a little bit more and loosen it up. And then let's do some sticking this down. Oops, I didn't put a little bit of glue in the middle there. This tree's come together ever so quickly. I think actually, do you know what, I've done this as a tag. I think I'd rather give this as a card, so to make sure somebody keeps it. Do you ever do that? If you want to make sure that they keep it, don't you dare give this away. Sometimes some little little tiny pieces coming out of the edges are really sweet as well. So I'm going to tightly coil that, and you can concentrate on how tightly you're coiling, and that will make a smaller coil for you. As you're winding it round, just grip it even tighter. So I want a tighter little coil here. It's looking really contemporary, and I'm not sure whether it's the fact that I've done just the grey and the green, or whether it's the design, but I'm quite pleased with it so far. So just a couple more little bits to do, I think, before we move on to the other papercraft project. I will do just a few of the shapes for you, and then we'll move on to the other project that I was going to do, because we've called this Christmas gifting. I haven't done much gifting yet. And then let's do a nice big coil. The hardest part of this is making it look even. I mean, how many Christmas trees are even anyway? I don't think any are they? So don't worry too much. That's a big coil there. Pop that at the bottom. Oh, I could keep going with this. Is anyone else really chilled out? Really relaxed for a Wednesday afternoon? I love it. I've got so much work to do. This is my little relax hour. It's lovely. There we go. Let me know what you've got on today. What are you doing after this Craftalong? Or are you doing something whilst watching this? I love to know what everyone's doing. Around the world as well. We don't just have people watching from the UK. Got some exciting things coming up at CraftStash, which is why I'm up this week. Obviously, we have Black Friday coming up very soon, so look out for all of those deals and offers. If you've been with us for Black Friday in the past, you'll know it's the time of the week where my boss needs a holiday afterwards, because she's so stressed for all the offers and the money off deals and everything we've been giving out. So there we go. So that's coming up. Isn't that so cute for a little Christmas tree and make a wish? Now you can go in with some other colours, so you could do some really tight little red coils if you wanted to, and just pop them inside of that. What are people doing? Debbie's going to have a video call with her bestie. Oh, lovely. Marie is cutting out a gingerbread house. Is that a real one? Is that a real one? I'd love some, thank you. Roxy Lee is making, oh, she's using my typewriter stamp to make a get well card for her friend who has COVID. Oh, get well soon from us as well. Geraldine's got a work call at 3, so she might miss the other demo. What time is it? Oh, I've got 20 minutes. Okay, well, I'll get started now on that straight away. Have I really spent 40 minutes doing this? A lot of talking. Okay, let me just show you. So there's a tag you can make quickly and easily, even if you are a beginner quiller. Because once you've done something like this, that's it. You're a quiller straight away. Let me just show you a couple of shapes. Really easy to do. I'm going to use a whole strip for this to make them as large as possible for you, so you can really see the shape. Coil this up all the way. You can use your fingers as a guide so that it coils all together. Like so. And as I said, I carry on coiling. Even though it's already coiled up, I carry on coiling. And then I'm just going to release that a little bit, just a little bit, pop a little bit of glue onto the end there, wrap that round so that I've got a nice circle. Now we've got our circle here, but of course that can be lots of other shapes we want it to be. So I tend to like to try and keep the central bit central here. If I just pinch it on one side, we've got then a bit of a teardrop shape. Can you see that? If I put that on my mat, is that a little bit clearer rather than on the pink? The teardrop shape. Oh, here we go. This might be better. There we go. Just by pinching one side there. Now, if I come over and I then also pinch the other side, trying to keep them even. So you'll notice as you pinch the outside, the middle will want to kind of move away from where you're pinching. So we've now got, if I pinch this side, we've now got kind of like an eye shape. Can you see that? It's like an eye. So if you're doing, for example, flower petals, you can use either of these two shapes that I've just shown you. If you want to do something a little more geometric, you can then come in and you can push these down and pinch the other two sides that come out, and you've got a square. Now the middles kind of move around inside each other, but that is the beauty of quilling. You're never going to have that perfect square all the way around. Can you see it kind of spirals into itself there? And then of course you can elongate that if you want to make it into more of a diamond shape. You can do that if you want to, or you can really pinch the sides in, so use your nails to squeeze into the centers there, like so, to create a star. Get that? There we go. So that's how you can build up your shapes. There's lots of other shapes as well inside the project booklet on one of the first pages. So if you don't subscribe to this, you can of course then, if you don't subscribe and you didn't get it recently but you're looking forward to getting it, it will soon, hopefully in the next few weeks, it will be available individually. Quilling basics, so we've got everything here you need, along with those shapes that I've just shown you as well. How you can also make a domed quilled piece. So you've got the dome on the end of the handle, and if you press that into your quilled circle, it kind of pushes the center out. Okay, so you can then make them into more of a domed piece rather than a flat piece. Okay, so things like that are all included in here. Right, now, shall I get onto that other papercraft project? Let's put this one to the side. And my glue's probably now clogged up, so clean this up. Hopefully it will be okay. And as I said to you, I'm kind of going with off the cuff a little bit today. So we'll see how this works out, because I now need to remember what I was doing before I changed my mind completely and decided to do quilling instead. I'm going to make a little gift card holder. So what very often happens in my family is if somebody wants money, we don't like to give them money. Who likes giving money at Christmas or birthdays? I prefer to give them something a little more specific, and that will very often be, for me, that will be gift cards, because then at least you've told them what shop you'd like them to shop in. So I'm going to make something that I will use this Christmas, and that's a gift card holder. But not just for one gift card holder, it's going to be for more than one. Was it Geraldine was asking about the inside of the box, the contents of the box? So yes, we've got stencils, we've got stamps as well. I didn't really go over the stamps, did I? So we've used those sentiments already. And again, they're that sort of typewriter font that I love. We've got the word winter there, and we've got some beautiful quill-esque images. You don't have to use them with quilling, of course, you can use them on their own, but you can use them as a guide for where to put some quilling pieces, which some of the projects in the booklet have done so already. And then the dies, we've got the word winter, we've got H and B. So we're able to write winter wishes, and we can put HB, happy birthday, HB in there as well if you want to. And then I'm sure there's other words that you can work out with those letters too. But the idea is we wanted the words winter wishes. And then we've got those strips, and you can cut out those sentiments. And we've also got little banner ends if you want to add banner ends to them rather than the sort of dome shaped ends that are already there. The papers are, I love this one, this is my favourite. The sort of knitted material there. Then we've got the white frost, which is on the outside of the box as well. We've got the snowy wall, that just looks lovely. I love snow, I absolutely love snow. And then we've got this really unusual image, so it's like a brick wall that's been painted with a snowy landscape on it, with the birch trees and everything. Again, it's another one I really love the image of. So we're going to be I'm going to use the blues and the whites today, and I'll start to show you the basics of how to put this together, and then you can go ahead and do your own decoration. So let's use, I love this charcoal grey, because the charcoal grey is just, it's a really lovely colour against the nice lightness of the papers. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboards. Now I'm using tools that are sneak peeks for you. So they will be available on CraftStash very, very soon. So where is my little, there it is, my scoring thing. Right, so these are A5 pieces of cardstock that you've got inside the box. Because they're A5, they come to 8¼ inches. So the center of this would be 4 1/8. So I want to score this at 4 because I want to have 1/4 inch in the middle, just for opening and closing, to allow for the width of the gift cards. See, this isn't a 1 card holder. This is you're able to put 4. You can actually put more in here if you wanted to. So what I was saying about the gift cards, sorry, I went off on a tangent somewhere, is that I like to go shopping and I will get, say, a £10 or £20 gift voucher from one shop and then another from another shop. So for those people who I tend to spend quite a bit of money on, but don't give me any ideas, I will go and get them a bunch of gift cards so they can spend them at the different shops. So I've scored that from each edge at 4 inches in. So I've just flipped it over. So 4 inches in, and then I'm just going to fold this on that score. That score line wasn't very straight because it's not folding straight. So I'm just going to make sure that is a little bit straighter. There's a straight one, and there's a straight one. There we go. And I will be using that again in a moment. So again, just to make sure my lines are nice and secure on both sides. So I've given myself a little bit of a booklet there with the wider spines. It's just going to allow for that depth in there. So inside here, I want to put my gift card holders, and in comes my A5 patterned papers. Now, if I fold this, and I bring this back to my board again, I can then do exactly the same score line. So I'm going to do the 4 inches from one side and the 4 inches from another. And what I'm now going to do is just take a glue. Now here I'm going to use a really fine glue, very fine glue. This is one of the Pink Frog glue applicators that I absolutely raved about recently on a live when I first got them, because I think they're fantastic, because inside of the lid is a metal piece that actually goes into the nozzle of the glue applicator, and by doing that you've then got no clog at all. Every time you take the lid off, that's not clogged up, which is just brilliant. So I've just run glue down the center of this piece. So it's A5, I haven't yet trimmed it at all. I've just done it, scored it at 4 inches from either end after folding it in half. And then I'm then going to just run a thin line of glue along the edge here. If you'd rather use tape, you can, but you just need to ensure it's a very thin tape. Okay, so a nice, good amount of glue down the center, and then a small amount either side there. So just popping my metal nozzle into my glue applicator. And then we can just fold each of these score lines, just secure them to make sure they're really nice and sharp, those creases, and again on the other side. Okay, so that will sit inside of here, but we need to just trim a small amount from the end, because we want our gift cards that will sit in here. We want our gift cards to actually be able to be seen so they can see what's in there. So just take your trimmer and take a small amount off the end of each one. So I would say let's go with 3 centimetres, and that just allows, oh, that's my scoring tool. That just allows there for a small amount to be seen so they can see what the actual card is, but not too much. It holds them all in nicely. There we go. Now, something else I'm going to bring in now. This is hush hush. If you haven't seen this, I might be in trouble. It's a new product that we don't yet have online, but it's come in, and that's our notch punch. So I'm just going to cut our notches out of there. And people are now going, oh, what's that? Well, you'll find out very soon, okay? Not too long to wait at all. There we go. So there is my first 2 pockets. Just allow the glue to dry before you play. My first 2 pockets for my gift cards to sit into. And I'm going to glue this down the center like so. Now the plan was that I was going to be all so prepared that I was going to have all of these already cut out and glued and everything, but I didn't. So let's have a chat while we quickly run through that process again. So just folding this in half. Now, gift cards, they should all be the same sort of size, but if you find your gift cards aren't quite fitting inside of here, you can obviously use slightly larger paper or fold it this way. So if you've got wider gift cards, fold them this way, glue, do your score lines. They just won't be as deep. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Folding these in half. And of course, it doesn't have to be gift cards either. These can hold, it can hold notes. So say you want to give somebody, I don't know, £30, you can put £5 note in each one. It's a really nice present. You could put photos in. This could actually be a mini album instead for somebody. I'm going to come in again, 4 inches, 4 inches. So once you're batch making, as in once you're doing each of the stages of this at once on each panel, it actually takes no time at all. Let's get my trimmer in and just do my 3 centimetres off of each end. So the same. So it's a good idea to do one, just ensure you're happy with the measurements and everything, and then you can go ahead and do all of the other little pockets. So what else might you put in lots of pockets? I think there's loads of things. Speaking of which, I've just been trying to think of a way. So my daughter wants a different advent calendar this year. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to make it rather than having to buy a ready-made one, because some of the ready-made ones are really quite expensive if you want to put your own little gifts in it. She's 16, so she's kind of beyond the age of wanting a little chocolate every morning. She wants a full-on gift. So let's just cut those notches in each one as well. I should have brought with me, shouldn't I, 6 gift cards or 6 lots of money so we can really see this in action, but never mind, you'll get the idea. And I think I'm fast running out of time as well. I am. We will get there. So just adding my glue. So a good amount of glue down the centre here, and then a very fine line along the bottom. Or if you prefer, you can, if you want to use the whole width of this, you could put washi tape. If you've got a washi tape over the edge instead. Just making sure that's folding nicely along those score lines while that glue's drying. There we go. And then I'm going to glue this one, that spine that we've created by the score lines. Just glue that one here as well, making sure that it all lines up. There we go. I don't want to lift that up too soon because that glue is still drying. And then the middle one I'm going to put over the top as well, so down the middle. There we go. I love these papers. I absolutely adore them. So I give the team ideas for papers and designs, and sometimes I completely design them from scratch, and sometimes they will come up with an image and I'll say, yes, that works really, really well. And some of these, like for example, the knitted wool is absolutely fantastic. There's no way I'd have ever designed that myself, but they came up with that and I was like, yep, that's it, that's the one. I didn't fold this one very straight, so I've got a little bit of a white line there, but never mind. So the centre is going to go down the middle. Pop that in there. And you can keep building these up, these pockets, you can keep making them bigger and bigger and bigger, more and more. This is why we did that spine in the card base there. So you can see, hopefully, that you've got the width there to have all of your gift cards in there poking out. Or like I say, your money, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's earrings on the little backing cards and you can pop those in, whatever it may be, as a gift for somebody. So on the front, if we want to decorate that, we can just trim down a panel of cardstock. So let's get this very quickly finished. You've seen the inside, you know how you want to decorate it. Let's very quickly just go ahead and try and find a pencil. Oops, there we go. Squeaky, squeaky chair, I need to swap this round. Or maybe oil it or something. Wouldn't it be nice if we could oil our joints just to stop them squeaking sometimes? Squeaking and creaking. just cutting this as a mat very quickly. I don't want to oh, that's the scoring tool, that's the cutting tool. Yeah, isn't it great having both on one? There we go. I'm going to check the comments. I haven't looked for a little while. So, oh, I need to catch up. It's taking a little while to catch up with itself. Let's find my wet glue again, mat this on. And then inside the box, we've actually got some chipboard. I haven't even started with the chipboard, with the texture paste, with the glitter. There's all these different things that you can be adding to your project. The tissue paper, I was going to use the tissue paper. I'm already kind of running out of ideas or time. I'm not running out of ideas, I'm running out of time. So there, I've very quickly already made this little gift card holder. In fact, that tag could go on the front with some ribbon, couldn't it? And then you've got your gift cards or your money inside there as a lovely gift for somebody. Isn't that wonderful? So the plan was I was going to put a snowflake on the front. Now this is a chipboard snowflake. What I love about these is that you can use these to make coasters, you can make Christmas decorations with them. You've got the snowflake, as you can see, and then you've also got the negative as well, so you can use each of those, utilize those. And inside the box we have glitter and we have this fantastic texture paste. So let's just do a little bit of stenciling quickly, because somebody did ask about the stencil. Was it a stencil, for example? So I'm just going to pop that on there. Let's take somewhere here, somewhere within my stash, and I know it's here. I bet I've already got it out, haven't I? Right, bear with me everyone, squeaky chair, because I need to lean down and find something. Where are you? Here you are. Palette knife. I think what I've done is I've used my palette knife at home and then left it on the draining board to dry after washing it up, because I do actually wash up my brushes and my palette knives, and then I leave them there. So, oh, brand new pot. Oh, of course it was the brand new box, wasn't it, that I got to use. It was very exciting, because of course my original box, I used to make lots of the projects in the booklet. So this texture paste has a slight grit to it. It's a very fine grit. It's a gorgeous bright white. So let's just show you on here, stenciling through. Oh, I like that noise. I do like that noise. Now I'm going to get a mucky finger because I want to make sure I'm pressing that stencil down into the snowflake. Now I think I've just moved that because I haven't taped this. If you tack it from underneath, because obviously the chipboard is smaller than the stencil, so if you go underneath and tape the stencil or the chipboard to the stencil, you won't get any movement. But never mind, we're going to go with it. I'm going to hope it's not too bad. Oh, I can see it smudged underneath, and it's just under that one as well. Let's lift it up. Never mind, you'll do better than me. You can probably cover it over, to be fair. You can always cover things over. Clean everything up, because this does dry really nice and quickly. But before that dries, what you do want to do is add some glitter. We've got some fine iridescent glitter in here. Never mind that. Don't worry. I'll work out a way of covering it over later. And then we've got the beautiful sparkle on top of there. And popping that like so. Let's put it on that way. Let's cover over very quickly. Let's cover that over. Don't have a die cutting machine with me. That's one thing. Do you know what? It's not the one thing I forgot today, is it? A palette knife as well. But let's stamp a sentiment. So we've got this. Walking in a winter wonderland. See, warmest birthday wishes. What if somebody's got a birthday that's really close to Christmas, and you just want them to be able to celebrate their birthday without having to always compete with Christmas? You can send them warmest birthday wishes. Oh, I do like this grey. I used this grey earlier, so I've got a strip of it here. Pop this on here, like so. Use your magnets. There we go. Let's stamp them all at the same time. we go. Like I say, the stamp platform, the trimmer and everything are coming very soon. So don't worry if you're thinking, oh, where's that from? I don't recognise that brand. It's a bit of a sneak peek, okay? You'll see very, very soon. Perfect, beautiful stamping. I do love this platform. Okay. Now, because I didn't set up my die cutting machine on my desk, I'm going to have to use my trimmer for this. But if you don't want to use your trimmer, as I was telling you earlier, we've got these dies that will cut everything out for you into those strips, okay? So you can do that. So let's just cut a strip. Shall we say warmest birthday wishes? Shall we make this one for a winter birthday maybe instead? And we can see exactly where we are cutting through here. Walking in a winter wonderland. Who else wants to sing it when I say it? Absolutely. So I think that needs to be a little bit higher there. Let's go with that. Perfect. So I've had my glue gun on this whole time and not been able to use it. So I'm just going to use it now to pop my snowflake on the front. My warmest birthday wishes. If you have the die, obviously this cuts out everything for you. Pop. Ooh, I knew I'd do it. I dropped it on the floor. Squeaky chair, out the way. There we go. I'm just going to stay standing up now, I think. A little more glue along the middle because I'm going onto a wet texture paste. I'm going to attempt to just hide as much of that smudge that I did as possible. It's not too bad, is it? It's not too bad at all. It's almost covered it all up. Okay, so let's just quickly recap before I say goodbye because I have now overrun. So we've made a little gift card holder for Christmas with everything that's inside the box. Obviously there's tools included there that I used, but you'll have some of these at home, and if not, they'll be available soon. So we've got the gift card holder that has all the spaces, little envelopes for the gift cards or money or any other gifts that you want to pop in there. And then we also used the quilling to do some fairly easy beginner quilling for you there, just to make yourself a little tag, a nice contemporary tag with a Make-A-Wish stamp at the bottom, little Christmas tree in all the different greens and such. So thank you so much everybody for joining me. It's been a lovely hour, just over an hour. I'm all chilled out now and I need to go back and do some work. So after I've cleaned up the mess, I've even got messy fingers, which isn't like me at all. We have got lots else going on this week as well. So on Friday, join me and the lovely Christina Griffiths for her card making magic launch. That's going to be at 12:30 on Friday. And then I have a week off, so I don't know what's going to be happening that week. We'll see. I think I need to get that all ready this week. So have a lovely week, everybody, yourselves. Please do let me know if you do any quilling, if you try anything. Send projects either on Craft World or on the CraftStash page and tag us so we can see them. I'd love to see particularly if you've used the Papercraft Society box. Oh, don't forget one last little note. If you are creating your own Christmas gifts and you want gift bags and gift boxes to put them in, the Simply Made cards dies here that I've got, this is a selection of them at up to 25% off today, so go and check that out. There will be probably a banner on the CraftStash homepage talking about that and taking you directly to all the products. Okay, thank you everybody, take care and have a lovely Wednesday afternoon.